Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's Gas, and today we're reacting to a video by Dad Mode and Dark Mode called I'm 40, I Wasted My Life, Don't Make the Same Mistake. And just from that title alone, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I feel him. I'm 31 and I feel like I've wasted a lot of time just from being alive. And it's just like now it's just you realize, how do I say this? If you're not intentional with your life, life is just still gonna go on and coast. So it's like it's either you grab life and things going on in your life, or it's gonna just do it for you. You know what I mean? So let's hear what he's talking about.
I'm 40 and I wasted my life.
I feel you.
I've got nothing to show for it. No house, no savings, no career. That
I, I feel that already. I ain't gonna lie. I feel him already. Like, I really relate to that. What's it called? I live with my parents. What's it called? My career. I work in a warehouse. You know what I mean? What's it called? I work in a warehouse, and I got that from a temp agency. And the savings, I got like $800. You know what I mean? This is not what I envisioned for myself at 30. You know, I thought I would have been way more successful. I wanted to be more ambitious, but life just didn't go out that way. But it's not over. Be optimistic.
I'm proud of. I'm pouring everything that I have into this channel because I've got nothing else.
I feel you.
And if you're in your 20s or even your early 30s and you think you've got time, I'm telling you right now, you don't.
That's real also. You really don't have time for things. Um, and that's another thing that I learned. I learned that when my grandfather died. I was just over here like always when he was alive, pushing it off like, all right, I'll go visit him next time. I'll go visit him next time. I'll go visit him next time. And next time never came around. You always think you have time, and that's a terrible thing to think that way. We really don't have time for anything because life is still moving. Everybody, think about the New Year's resolution people that are like, yeah, I'm gonna hit the gym January 1st. It's it's September now. You know what I mean? If y'all was hitting the gym like that, me included, what's it called? We'd be at our goals. We'd be there. You know what I mean? We'd have some different muscle. We'd have, better eating habits. We'd have something. But, we always put off and be like, yeah, we have time to go do that later. We have time to do what we have to do before the end of the year. It's already the end of the year. We in the final.
I wish I had someone in my life when I was younger, someone who actually cared enough about me and was smart enough to show me how life really worked, how women really operated, and what I actually needed to
Man,
focus
women.
on. I didn't have that. I was getting all of my ideas about love and success and women from movies and idiots my own age.
And that's a big thing also. Your peers around you can really influence you on like the wrong way. So it's like I feel that because shit, a lot of the times that when I think back on my 20s, it's so crazy to even say that because I'm 31 now. What's it called? A lot of that is just worried about women and getting relationship advice. It's like in the hindsight of everything, that shit really don't matter.
Who didn't know anything at all. So there was no sense of urgency, no perspective, just vibes and dumb plans, and this fantasy that everything would somehow work itself out.
A thing I also had to learn throughout life is like things really don't work out. I have the mentality of like, everything works out, but I had to change that about myself because things don't just work out. You have to be more proactive to make it work out, and be really on its at whatever you want's ass to really get to that spot that you're looking for. And I feel like that's a lot of problems that a lot of people have of like everyone thinking like everything's gonna work out and the urgency for things that really matter is just not there. But we treat things such as like relationships and stuff that in the hindsight in the grand scheme of things it really don't matter. We treat that with the most urgency when that really doesn't matter.
In my 20s, I thought I was, super deep and cool, and because I had tattoos and I knew some obscure bands and you know played drums, and I thought being different was a personality. I wasn't building anything real.
I feel
I
that.
was I was just chasing sex and novelty. Hooking up with women because I was addicted to the high, not the connection, just the rush. I spent more time crushing on church girls who didn't like me. And
And that's another thing that I can relate to a lot, because like when I think back to my 20s, more than anything is just overall I spent so much time worried about women that don't care about me at all. And like it was cool going on dates and all that kind of stuff and being like, yeah, I got this many girls or that many girls that you talking to and all that. But now that I'm 30, all that I have to look back on with all of that is what, Snapchat memories or just memories in general, phone numbers in my phone that, I'll never talk to again. Maybe the occasional person that could be like, hit you up on your birthday and just be like, happy birthday. You know what I mean? Like, in the grand scheme of things, I just wasted 10 years. You know what I mean? On women that won't think twice about you. So while you worried about them so much and just worried about them so much and just you would be up wondering why they not texting you, why they not this, why they not that. They not thinking about you. They talking to the next nigga that what's it called interest them. It's not you. Cause if it was you, they would still be around. You know? So it's like I really feel that. It's just worried about all these different girls. Girls took a lot of time and energy and a lot and made a lot of sadness. And it's just looking back on it, it's just like a lot of bitter memories. Like, yeah, I understand, more about dating and stuff like that, but in reality, look at where I am. What's it called? And like where how he's saying where he is too. And it's just like it's a big time waster.
hanging out at coffee shops and smoking cigarettes, uh, drinking lattes, and going to hardcore shows. I did more of that than I did doing anything that would help me long term. I mean, at 23, I was playing ding dong ditch with my friends.
That's crazy.
Like I was 13 again.
Yeah, that's kind of
thinking
crazy.
it was
at 20.
hilarious, which it was. But fun times. But I wasted so many hours just trying to get validation from people who didn't care if I lived or died. At the end of the day, I thought my life was meaningful because it looked cool in photos.
And that's real. What's it called? Because you're gonna look back on those photos of you and the people. Some of them might not even be in your life anymore. What's it called? Y'all could have drifted apart. And it's just like you didn't do it. Just thinking like, yo, you could have spent that time learning a skill. You could have invested in the stocks. You could have, what's it called, took college more seriously or something along those lines. What's it called? Learned a trade or something like that. And still have time to do those things, obviously, but making fun and what's it called, messing around with your friends and those kind of experiences, like that stuff is important, but like making it the primary thing. And then when you look years later, you realize, yeah, those times were nice, but like now you and most likely some of the people that you were doing that kind of stuff with, instead of helping each other grow, y'all all in the same, damn, I'm broke. What's it called? Damn, I don't know how I'm going to get rent. What's it called? Damn, I can't take this trip. What's it called? Because it's too expensive kind of situation. Y'all all in the same bubble. And us as people, we really do hold each other back.
Look cool on MySpace, but all I was doing was burning through the most valuable years of my life.
Facts.
The years where I had the most energy, the most flexibility, and the most time to build something meaningful. Nobody told me I was wasting it. Nobody. And when the world sees you drifting, it doesn't intervene.
Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody really cares about you and your situation. That's something that you really have to learn. Nobody's really gonna save you. Nobody really cares. People pretend to care when you venting about them, about stuff that's going on in your life. They're gonna vent about stuff that's going on in their life. But in reality, y'all just trying to comfort each other with, trauma that y'all going through in situations, but y'all not helping each other. And it's just like nobody really cares about what's going on with you, and nobody's really gonna help you like that, or if they are, they're gonna just be like your parents, they're gonna just tell you like, what are you doing with your life? Like stuff like that, which is not really helpful. But it's like they observing what you got going on, and they're not gonna, and they're just gonna just tell you stuff like that. You know what I mean? Which is not helpful.
It just keeps feeding you distraction after distraction, lie after lie, while profiting off of your blindness and ignorance. And then fast forward into my late 20s, you know, then I got into a relationship that wrecked my life.
Ooh.
She got pregnant and everything changed. And I love my son. I would never undo that. But that relationship, it was a disaster.
I can't relate to that personally, but from working and talking to my male coworkers, throughout the years, some of them really do tell me like their life got ruined because of a bad relationship. And the advice that they gave me, like a lot of them, they give the same kind of advice. Be careful who you finish in and all that kind of stuff. And that's real, because shit, I had a coworker, what's it called? He just wanted to talk to his kids. His baby mama blocked him off his phone. Then he's like, Trent, can I use your phone? He gets my phone. He calls her number. And then he's over here like, yo, can you unblock my phone so I could talk to my son? She blocked my number. What's it called? It's just like, yo, all of that just to talk to your kids. That's so crazy. What's it called? So I really feel for y'all when y'all go through that kind of stuff.
I did not know how to choose wisely at all. I confused chaos and passion and intensity with love, because no one ever taught me the difference. I thought it was normal for things to be dramatic and unpredictable. I thought that meant we were meant to be or something.
No, that's real. What's it called? Toxicity. We definitely confuse toxicity sometimes as like, oh man, that means they really care. If they yelling at me, they really care. If they showing all this emotion, they really care. If they really typing those essays and paragraphs, it really cares. That means they really care about me, and they trying to get their point across. When in reality, it just means like they're fed up and frustrated, just like you're fed up and frustrated. And you know, that could be a good person, but that doesn't mean y'all are a good match.
Don't know. But I don't know what was going on, but instead I ended up in family court fighting for time with my own son,
Ooh.
treated like an intruder and a criminal for wanting to be a father.
That's tough.
And then in my 30s, you know, I mean, my 30s weren't the best years of my life.
I'm there right now.
You hear that a lot. Your 30s will be the best years of your life. 30s and 40s. 30s were a nightmare.
Ooh.
I was broke. I was depressed. I was isolated, missing my son constantly, and dealing with games and lies and schemes my ex would pull to destroy the bond between me and my son. I wasn't just dealing with grief. I was dealing with a system that didn't care if I disappeared. And yeah, a few times I, in the midst of all that, tried to date again. I finally started to see what I'd been.
I'm 31, and while he has it way worse, the biggest things that I got to deal with is like trying to fix stuff, because everything in your life is your fault. You can't blame nobody else for anything that goes on in your life, right? There is no system that, like he's talking about a system right now and all that kind of stuff. Everything is a decision that you made in your life that gets you to where you need to be. Not where you need to be, where you are. And it's like people think that their life is over. Your life is not over. You can still try to fix it. Like in your 20s, you rack up debt. What's it called? You may have a kid with the wrong person. Life still goes on. Everything can be fixed as long as you're alive. You have a plan. You stick with the plan and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, so far what I'm looking at as my 30s is like, okay, we didn't do this, we didn't do that. All right, that's fine. Make a plan, and let's follow the plan to fix it, to make the rest of our life better. He's trying to do that with this YouTube channel. From what he's saying, he's putting his whole soul into this. And I wish him much success in trying to do that. But it's never too late to try to fix your life and the situations and the things that you're going through.
Blind to in my 20s, I was no longer that 27-year-old stuck in a 500 days of summer mindset, falling for manic pixie dream girls.
Oh yeah, type.
Just because they like the Shins too.
That's a band, I'm assuming.
Now I saw the red flags clearly. Girls with baby rabies, daddy issues, manipulation, all of it.
Crazy.
I could spot it instantly.
But that's also the thing. Also, a lot of dudes can spot that the girl that they're talking to is some sort of toxic, but like a lot of dudes really don't care. Yeah, I mean, talk to some of these dudes. A lot of them really don't care. They're like, but she's bad though. And still do whatever they do. And then when they find out it's too much, they're like, damn, I should have never messed with her in the first place. Nah, you knew who she was before you started. You just didn't care. You're like, I have nothing. I'm in a drought, and she was there, and she was interested in me. That's why a lot of dudes end up with girls that they don't actually like, because they're just like, I have nothing else. So when a lot of dudes don't have nothing, they see whoever's giving them attention and all that, and they're like, you know what, I can entertain this. It's not that bad. What's it called? We could ignore that.
I was like a bloodhound for that kind of thing. It's easy to detect now. That's the part that stings the most. Now I'm 40, I hate my job, but it's not just that. I'm disillusioned by the world. Once you see how everything really works, how broken it all is, you cannot unsee it. Everything feels fake. The economy is a scam. Inflation is gutting families.
But also, none of that matters. You know what I mean? I feel like as men, we like, even with the idea that nobody's gonna save you, all of that stuff doesn't matter. So it's like, it doesn't matter what's going on with the economy, the government, all that kind of stuff, and seeing how everything is fake. You still have to do what's gonna put you in that position to get where you need to be. So it's like, if the economy is fucked up and the price of eggs go up, are you not going to buy eggs? Are you not grocery shopping anymore? You know what I mean? Like, you still need that stuff, right? You're still going to go to work and get the money to go pay for that stuff if you need it. So it's like I'm in New York. If Metro cards go up or whatever, people are going to complain, but they still need to go on on public transit and still do whatever they need to do. So it's like, that stuff really doesn't matter. The only thing we could focus on and worry about and stress about is stuff that goes on with us, to get ourselves right.
People are more isolated than ever before.
That's true.
No one's honest. No one's fulfilled. And there's a deep apathy baked into everything now.
I'm not going to agree with nobody is fulfilled, because there are a lot of people that live their dreams in some way, shape, or form. So it's like, when you have a hobby that you care about, you just escaping into doing that, you can be more fulfilled. Like, I feel fulfilled when I draw, because that's my thing. I like drawing. You know what I mean? So it's like, when I do that, and then I draw something that I could laugh at or relate to or something like that, now I feel fulfilled. Like that makes my life worth it. What's it called? So like, in the grand scheme of things, like, you have as a person, you could have all this, that, and the third going on, and it feels overwhelming. But when you have something to escape to that's positive, that would push you forward, what's it called? That's the thing that's gonna make everything worth it.
That's why I'm here. This isn't a content hobby for me. This is me refusing to stay silent. This is me using what I have left to build something real, because the clock is ticking.
I feel that.
And also, if I die before I can tell my son any of this, before he can know, I mean, he's almost 11, but I want my son to know that his dad didn't just give up, that I fought very hard.
That's real.
And went through a lot.
I think about the idea of legacy a lot. The thought of, like, we have a limited time on this planet. And to me, the idea of life and, like, the meaning of life is to leave something for the next generation to take and build upon. You know what I mean? Like, every idea and all that kind of stuff now, somebody can use that as reference to build something better in the future and stuff like that. Legacy is so important. Then I'm thinking of, like, what is mine? What am I really leaving behind? And that's the kind of thoughts that keep me up late at night.
And that I bled in silence. That I fought to stay in his life, tooth and nail. I fought to become something that he could be proud of. And I fought against a system that was way bigger than myself, that tried to break me. And so this channel, Dad Mode and Dark Mode, is part of that fight. It's my record.
I hope you win.
It's my time capsule, my legacy. It's my proof that I didn't just drift off into silence
And that's real.
and was just passive. And I hope one day, when he's ready, he'll understand all of this. And so, you know, if you're in your 20s right now and you're listening to this, stop thinking you've got unlimited time.
You really don't.
Stop doing it. You don't have unlimited time
At all.
You think it's harmless to keep chasing women and wasting money.
Like, that's another thing also. What's it called? You would think you have like a certain amount of savings. Like, you ever Google the idea of like how much savings a person should have? Or not even that. You see those TikToks where they're like, how much do you have in your bank account? What's it called? Will the next person think that this is a good amount? And then you see people with like 500, $30. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you know, those people when they were younger, they thought they would have more consistently in their bank account. But what I've learned from my parents, from growing up, because they're immigrants and all that kind of stuff, they work paycheck to paycheck. A lot of people are really just working paycheck to paycheck. A lot of people really don't have no type of savings. What's it called? Because like, the little bit that a person does have after their check, after paying bills and all that kind of stuff, they usually spend it on vanity in some way, shape, or form, such as like DoorDash or video games, what's it called, or friggin' even saving up for a vacation that they can't afford, what's it called, and all that kind of stuff.
And avoiding responsibility. But one day, you'll wake up and you'll realize you've got no leverage. You've got no power, absolutely no clarity, and no way to get those years back. One day you will wake up and you will be 40.
And that's real. What's it called? Every day is a gift, and we have to do it with purpose. And I feel like the answer to getting to that point is just like, make a list of things of goals that you want to do and accomplish, and then list of things that you have to do every day to like hit that, to get to that bigger goal and all that kind of stuff. Because when you're doing the daily tasks, it may not seem like a lot, but at the end of 30 days, you did 30 things that gets you closer to where you want to be. So I feel him on that.
You will be stuck working a job that you hate with nothing to show for it except memories that don't even matter.
They really don't matter.
You constantly think about, and it leaves you with no air in your lungs.
And it's like, even going back to the girl memory thing, it's just like worrying about them for like really all of the 20s just spent worrying about women that don't care about you. Like, really think about that. When you really think back on them, do you really think your number was even saved in their phone? And if it was, and they talking to 4 other dudes, were you even their favorite if you're not in that person's life anymore, and you didn't end up dating them? Like, really think about that. All that energy and time spent on someone that barely would save your phone number, barely care about you as a person, and years removed, you still think about them while they moved on and they're happy with someone they actually like.
This
It's
pain,
a waste.
You know it. You know what that pain is when you think about, what once was. But yet every hour you waste now is a debt you're going to have to pay later.
That's what I was saying.
You should be building something. Skills, discipline, financial
Yep.
stability, wisdom,
Yep.
a backbone. And if you don't know where to start, I wrote something for you. It's called Dark Mode Protocol. You can find the link in my channel description. I'll
That's
even
what's
leave
up.
it. I'll leave it in the video description as well. And it's not inspirational fluff. It's not a self-help book. It's a survival guide for men who are sick of being lied to and want to start thinking clearly
That's what's up.
and
That's really
acting
helpful.
with purpose.
And I hope that helps people.
I'll go ahead and also whatever it is, I'll leave the link on the screen too to go read it. And subscribe if you haven't already.
All right. I hope this guy gets all the success that he's looking for. I hope he wins all the battles that he's looking for. I mean, that he's fighting, right? And I hope his channel does numbers and he gets, where he needs to be to make his life feel like it's, worth something. Anyways, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Gas up.